Hello everyone, I'm Dan Heber, admin of Pedagogical Memes on Philosophical Themes. And in this video I just wanted to give a quick update about the page and then to answer a few follower questions. And in terms of the update to the page, updates about the page rather, the memes are going to continue as they have. I'm not making any changes there, but one of the changes I am going to be doing is doing more work on the adjunct page, the adjunct YouTube channel associated with this page rather, which is PMPT Office Hours. As you can see, I have 40 subscribers on that one. I haven't really been uploading content to that. I haven't been promoting it. As you can see, I only have about 6 or so total videos there, totaling about 1,000 views. But that is one of the things I'm going to be developing in the coming year. I have a few interviews lined up, and I also have some commentary of some films that I'm going to be producing videos on. And those are basically the films that I show whenever I teach my philosophy classes. And I just thought that I would do a YouTube version, of that for any philosophers of the meme page that might be interested. So if you are interested, please do give the YouTube page a follow. Like I said, it's not robust right now, but I'm hoping that it will be developed more in the coming year. And of course, if that isn't your jam, if all you're interested in is the memes on Facebook, then you don't have to worry. You don't have to do anything because the memes on Facebook will continue unchanged as they have. So let me go to my little crib notes here to get to some of the questions that followers have asked. First one, Victor S. on Patreon asks, how frequently do you engage with others in the comments section, and how do you deal with trolls and rude comments? Before I get to Victor's question, I just wanted to make a brief comment about Patreon. I do have a Patreon page and a Buy Me a Coffee link that are on the homepage of Pedagogical Memes on Philosophical Themes, and once in a while I get a sort of a mean-spirited comment about that. Saying something to the effect of, well, Facebook is paying you money anyway for this page. And I did want to address that because while it is true the page is monetized, it is not lucrative, as you might imagine. And what I'm bringing up on the screen now is just a few months of the payouts. As you can see, it's about $15 a month is what the page generates from Facebook, which is enough to cover the costs associated with the page, which are meager. To have a couple of applications, on my iPad and my iPhone that I use to make the memes, and that $15 a month that I generate is enough to cover that, but it's not lucrative. This is a philosophy meme page is not a cash cow. $15 a month is what's there, and so the contributions that I do receive from people that are kind enough to donate through Buy Me a Coffee and through Patreon really do go a long way in helping to provide some incentive to keep the meme page going at its current pace, because it is just me, and it takes a lot of time. I'm happy to do it. I'm glad to have a following at all, but it does take time and it does require effort. And so I am especially appreciative of the people that take their hard-earned dollars and are willing to funnel a few bucks a month to me through Patreon or through Buy Me a Coffee. So thank you, Victor S. for that. And let me go back to the main page here. So now let me address the question that was asked. How frequently do you engage with others in the comment section? The first part of that question I'll address first, and the answer is not all that frequently. Most of the comments that are made are simply people tagging others that they think might have interest in it, or just making a descriptive statement that doesn't really require an answer. For those that do ask questions, what I found is that usually one of the other followers of the page and one of the other people that saw the meme in question will be quick to sort of pop in and answer the question, and I'm very grateful for those active followers of the page. If there is a name that I recognize who who took the time to ask a legitimate question or to make a bona fide comment on the meme, in those cases I will attempt to sort of come in and at least recognize that the person took the time to make a comment. Because I have several long-term followers. I've been at the meme page for about four and a half or so years now, and I recognize a lot of the names that are that frequently engage with the page, like, share and comment on the various meme offerings that I have, and so I make it a point to try to engage with the names that I recognize more so than others, but the reality is there's just too many comments to keep up with, and also I don't to the second part of the question here, and how do you deal with trolls and rude comments? I have a couple of restrictions that are set up in which Facebook is automatically screening out a lot of comments, and so as far as the rude comments, some of those I don't even see, so I don't need to deal with those at all, because Facebook offers a few moderating tools to page admins. But there are some other comments that do make their way through that are rude, and of course you can't take them personally. It's it's not about me. The person making the comment doesn't know me, so how could I possibly take it personally if the person doesn't know me personally, right? So I have that general attitude toward it, and then of course being a little bit neurodivergent and not really being able to sort of read in context or anything like that through the text or the written word, that also helps insulate me a little bit from taking any of those comments personally. But as far as the rude comments, I'm guessing, given the date that the question was asked by Victor, that it was in reference to a specific meme that I had actually shared. It wasn't an original meme of mine. It was a meme about Marx that I had shared from some other page, and there was some pretty immediate blowback to it on the comment section. So much so that I had to add an administrative note saying, "Hey, this isn't my meme," sort of explaining why I shared it, and that quelled some of the comments. But some people, even after I offered that clarification, weren't entirely happy with it, and they're welcome not to be happy with it. I'm not in the business of trying to convince people to like my page or to like my memes. If you don't like the page, if you don't like the memes, my attitude is there's a lot of other good philosophy meme pages. There's hardly a shortage of good content out there. There's a lot of bad content out there, but there's a lot of good content out there either. And if you don't like the stuff you see on my page, I don't feel the need to proselytize or try to convince people to try to follow them, or to explain why I like the memes that I liked, or why the memes why I shared the memes that I shared. So yeah. I hope that answers your question, Victor. Thank you again for your Patreon support, and thank you for the question. The second question from Facebook Messenger, Palantiri7 asks, and I'm guessing by the name Palantiri7, I'm guessing that follower came to me through Strange Hobbits in Ponds distributing memes. The Palantiri reference is, of course, the Palantiri name is a reference to Lord of the Rings. So I have I've had some good interactions with the admin of Strange Hobbits in Ponds distributing memes. I think I'm getting that name right. And the admin there has been very generous in sharing some meme templates with me, and I've received a few followers from that person. But to get to the question by Palantiri7, in a previous video, a follower had asked for a pocket check, but in your response, you didn't mention a writing instrument. Do you carry one, and if so, are you picky about it? Well, of course, I carry one. I'm in academia, and are you picky about it? Absolutely, I'm picky about it. My aforementioned, neurodivergence, yes, it would help to, establish that. And my writing instrument of choice that I carry, that I have carried for over a decade now, is the Pilot G2, is what it's called, and specifically in green. And as far as why the Pilot G2, I just like the way it feels in my hands. I'm part of the neurodivergence. There's like a sensory sensitivity that comes within. I sort of arbitrarily like the way certain things feel, and I sort of arbitrarily dislike the way certain things feel. So there's other pens that I'm sort of forced to use in times of hardship that I dislike, but I make it a point to have a Pilot G2 with me at all times. It's always in my pen, and I always have several reserves in my bag, which is I think the next question. Yeah, the next question. And to the color green, I like the color green. It goes back to days of grading paper-based assignments, which I haven't done paper-based assignments since pre-COVID. Now that's a blanket statement. Every once in a while I'll have an independent studies student, and because of the nature of independent studies, I will give handwritten feedback on things. But all my other students, if you're just enrolled one of my traditional classes, either seated or online, it's all, everything's submitted online, whether it's a seated class or whether it's an online class. But the reason I originally started with the green pen is that I thought that the green came across as less harsh than red. I like many teachers, whenever I first got into the gig, the stereotypical red pen, just going nuts, just underlining and circling and writing comments, and it looked harsh. It just that association with blood, it's hard to get over that. And so to try to minimize the impact, the perceived impact of some of those comments, I thought that the green tone instead of the red was more beneficial to students, and not taking any kind of comments personally. It's I don't know that it was successful in that regard, but that was my intention. So yes, to the question, the Pilot G2, and always in ink, always on me, in my pocket, in my bag. I have several in the glove box of my car. I'm never without them, and I stockpile them. The aforementioned neurodivergence, because companies like to change the design on things every once in a while, and it won't quite feel the same or write the same. And so whenever I encounter something that I like, I buy them in large numbers so that I have enough of them. Another example is toothbrushes. I'm weird about the way a toothbrush feels in my hand and the way the toothbrush feels in my mouth. And again, Colgate is notorious about this. I guess they're all like this, but my preferred brand is Colgate. And I had this toothbrush that I really liked by Colgate. It was the Colgate 360, and they changed the design on it, and I'm not quite as happy with it, but I'm afraid they're going to change the design again. And so, like right now in my bathroom cabinet, I have about 40 toothbrushes, brand new in the package, so that I will never run out of toothbrushes, so that I can have the toothbrush that I'm used to, the way it feels both in my hand and in my mouth. So that's just a story to give an indication of how picky I am about the writing utensil, the Pilot G2, always in green. All right. Thank you, Punnetier7. And the last question, Dahlia F. from Facebook Messenger asks, and this is part of a larger piece of correspondence, but the only question that was engaged in, that was embedded in that, is, are you a briefcase or a backpack guy? And I've been in academia, been teaching in academia since I was in my late 20s. And if you include my time as an undergraduate, I've been engaged in college campuses pretty much full-time since 1988. And the reason I say pretty much full-time is because I had a 6-year period where I was in the military and doing military service. And obviously I wasn't around college campuses during that time. Well, I take that back. I was, but I was on college campuses, part-time as a student, usually evening classes during that period. But for the most part, the large bulk, the large percentage of my adult years has been on college campuses, and I've experimented with several different types of bags. Initially, because I was in my 20s whenever I started teaching college courses, and I was a little bit baby-faced. You can't tell to look at the 54-year-old version of me now, but 20-something version of me was quite baby-faced, and because I was, in front of a college classroom with students that were in their 20s, and I was in my 20s, and I didn't really look all that different from the students that were in my class. I sort of felt it necessary to do some things to sort of separate myself, visually at least, from the people that were in my class. And one of the things that I did was I carried a briefcase. I no longer carry a briefcase. I haven't carried a briefcase in probably 15, 18 years. I mean, it's been since I carried a briefcase. I switched over to backpacks pretty quickly, just because of the ease of use. And I recently retired one of my backpacks. The backpack that I used from about 2003 to about just last year was this bag right here, and it's just a no-name. Well, technically it's got a name. It's Champion, but Champion, the brand Champion in the United States is sort of a tertiary, quaternary, sort of not really held in high regard brand that you can get at big box discount stores. But this particular bag, I loved it. I think it was 28 liters. What was the size? And this was the bag that I used whenever I would ride a motorcycle to classes whenever I was teaching at Iowa State. So it saw some bad weather. It saw highway wear. It saw daily use for over just about 2 decades, just about a year shy of 2 decades. And it was just a great bag. It was multiple pockets, and then one little sort of small pocket in the front that you can tell it's been somewhere. The zipper is here, but it's got this rip in it. Because the fabric is just sun-baked and starting to give out, and you can see there's another the zipper is actually closed there, but the bag is ripped open at the top. Because at one point I was visiting a friend in Atlanta, and I had flown there, and I had some beef jerky in my bag, and he had a dog, and then we left, and then the dog tore through the bag in an attempt to get to the beef jerky that I had on the inside. But another indication of the age of this bag. In the back here, it has a spot to keep all of your CDs, and so all these little envelopes here are places for your CDs, and then it's got a spot for your wired CD headphones to come out the bag of that, and the bag just finally gave out. I replaced it about a year and a half or so with I think it's Osprey Daylight bag. And it's a 30-liter bag, and I really enjoyed this one. It has some problems. It doesn't have a separate laptop case. The updated version of this bag does, but at the time that I bought it, it didn't have a laptop case. It just has 2 pockets on the outside, just one big sort of duffel-style compartment in the main compartment, and it has a little zipper pouch here at the end, which isn't very good because of the angle of it and this handle. You can't really access that pouch, but it's got this long zipper pouch, and then it has a little water jug, a water bottle pouch here on the side with elastic, which in all honesty isn't even large enough to hold a 20-ounce water bottle. But I use it to hold extra pairs of reading glasses, being a man of certain age, and having very bad eyesight. In combination with astigmatism, I will need to have about 3 or 4 different pairs of reading glasses with me at any time, because I have different focal length requirements for a screen such as this, for my phone, for whenever I'm doing reading, different focal lengths, different prescriptions for that. So I always have multiple pairs of reading glasses that I'm either wearing or that I have on me or that I have available to me in the various sleeves and pouches of the bag that I'm carrying. So yes, so and to go back to Dahlia F's question, am I a briefcase or a backpack guy? Briefcase early on, backpack for the last 15, 18 years or so. All right, so those were the only questions that I had highlighted for answering today in an attempt to keep this this video short. So I'll once again make a pitch for the YouTube channel. If you want to follow the YouTube page, please do give that a follow. Again, it's like it only has like six or so videos uploaded to it now. It's only been active since last April, but I'm going to be giving a more concentrated effort to providing more frequent and longer style video content to that channel. And of course, If you don't want it, if you just regard that as a distraction that you don't need, by all means, feel free to ignore it. My feelings will not be hurt. So for those of you that that follow the page, that enjoy the content, thank you so much. I enjoy doing this, and I especially enjoy seeing the same names on my memes, over and over again. So for those people that that like them, that share them, that offer comments, you might not know it, but I do in fact recognize probably 30, 40 names off the top of my head of the of some of the more frequent sharers of the content, and I really do appreciate that. So with all those things being said, I'm going to bring this video to a close, and if you decide to follow the YouTube channel, I'll see you again soon.